And welcome people, welcome in this best devlog out there about me making the Crow Companion mode. Today, like we said last time, we are going to enter the realm of key configuration and net event, network process and whatever, just to make sure that the Crow does something when we press specific keys on our keyboard or mouse or whatever. So, first though, of course, as always, first, the changes that I made off screen. Yeah, there are always changes that I made off screen because every time I close my recording thing, to my mind always comes up something new that I could have done better during recording. So this time it was for the flying towards target function. I decided to change its name because first because we weren't using the target, right? So it's not really, and second because I wanted something a bit smaller. Since we have other functions like move to set origin, blah blah blah, or very short, I wanted something to, where you can even choose the actor to which fly to. What the fuck did I say? I don't know, anyhow, these are the changes. Basically, the name, now it's FlyTo, and we can change to who. Using directly the decorate pointer thing, which is an integer, and thanks to that we can retrieve a real pointer depending on the value of this integer. In this case, the default value for the function is the AAPTR tracer, and by using the get pointer with this int as an argument, we're going to retrieve the tracer. If the tracer is there, we can use, of course, AAPTR target, master, or all of the fantastic stuff that you can find in the wiki. And I don't think I have anything else to say about that. I finally got the pitch to work. This is amazing. I just use I don't know why. I was pretty sure that I could use 8 and 2 to calculate it, but I realized that of course that couldn't be the case because I was getting only the x point, so the x coordinate, while I should have got a point between the x and the y. Basically, I should have got the vector 2 direction. So basically, in this case, my dir.xy point in the plane. And since I couldn't get that without more calculations, I decided to discard that way and to calculate the pitch by using the asyn function. Basically the arc how do you say sinus, arcsyn, whatever function, by directly using the offset, which is basically a side of the rectangle triangle, which is the vertical side of that, because we are going to calculate the opposite angle of this side, of this vertical side, of course, to know the pitch. And if we divide that side by the hypotenuse of this triangle and calculate the arcsyn of this value, we're going to get the angle that we want, in this case the pitch. Of course, there's a minus in front of it because the pitch goes upside down. Not upside down, but whatever. And that's it. Now that I got the pitch, I was just a real achievement of mine. It does really nothing in this function here. Like, for real, it does fucking nothing. Yes, amazing stuff. I did a couple of changes just to make these calculations a bit easier for my eyes to see in this code. So I firstly calculated this offset, which is, like I said, it's just the z component from the head of our tracer, because the Crow is aiming at that height, almost at the head of the thing that you're flying towards, minus the position of the Crow. just to calculate that little length, and that's it. And I have nothing else to say. I think I did nothing else except, as you can see, I added some little console, some debug printing stuff, because I couldn't get this to work for some reason. For some reason I couldn't get my pointer, and that was fucking strange, because before using this function I could use that. No, I could use that. I could retrieve my tracer pointer. Remember? The function would directly use the tracer to calculate the stuff, and then I realized that apparently there is some little delay before I get my pointer, and so I had to adjust the states, the frames, that kind of stuff inside of the states of the crow. I don't really know why, if you ask me. There's this delay. Maybe I'm just ignorant, and it's pretty obvious, but I couldn't get this right. And the thing that caused problems is because I also added this escape from the fly state function. Because earlier, if the player dies when the crow was already flying towards the player, the crow would still try to reach the player. We don't really want that, right? The player is dead, crow, please stop following it. Now, if the player is dead, as you can see from here, or if there is no player or whatever, then the crow will go back to the spawn state. Because, for example, if there is a player, if we are in a multiplayer contest, and if the player who got the crow just exit the game, bye-bye player, bye-bye tracer, and the crow needs to get to the spawn state. I could do something really nice, like, for example, if the player dies before the crow reaches him, I could make the crow still reaches for the corpse of the player and resurrect him. That's also a little spoiler for one of the power-ups that the crow will give to the player, which is resurrecting him once per map. No, maybe not. I need to make this a bit more balanced. Maybe won't be one resurrection per map, but one resurrection per crow. Meaning that if a crow resurrects you, then you will need to find another crow, because this one will just expire. An expiring crow. Anyhow, go to the state now. You will see these little changes. First, I changed, of course, the name of the fly state, which was used for the falling of the crow. Didn't make much sense, right? So now it's a fall state. Simple as that, because I needed a new fly state for this to happen. So when you activate the crow, he will stare at your soul for half a second. He will also make a sound and then start to fly. Again, this was necessary, this little delay here, because I couldn't get from the activate state to using this function and getting my tracer correctly. Again, I don't really know why, because this should have happened in separate instances, but I don't know, maybe I just couldn't get my head around it. And now we can finally tackle what we promised. This time I've been pretty fast with my explanation, that's great. Also because I don't need to showcase anything. So, let's start with a new file that we're gonna call KEYCONF. Because we are going to need a key configuration lamp. So let's remove this txt because it bothers me. For now we are going with, for example, 3 commands. I will jump on and off from this mode to another mode that I made, because I can't remember all of this stuff, where I already did something similar. We are jumping directly right now because I can't remember shit, and this is definitely easier and faster than going to the wiki and search for that. Here we go. We are going to directly use, for example, my show journal or show inventory thing. In my case, we'll just copy and paste this part here and explain things, because otherwise it will take too much time. So, crow attack 1. Basically, what this does is you give your command that you will call it from somewhere else, for example, from an event or whatever, an alias. Then we're going to attach, basically, to this alias a, for example, menu key. In this case, it will not be my show inventory key, but will be my crow attack 1 key. Key. For the love of Christ. And attach my alias. Then a default keybind. I don't actually know what to use right now. I believe I'm going to use like the usual FPS games keys, like for example Q, F, or G, or X, or this kind of keys, I guess. So Q will be our crow attack one. We could even use mouse something. I don't remember how they are called for this, but should be pretty easy. And also we are going to need, if we want, for example, to reset the settings for these keybinds or whatever, we could have another alias for another command. In this case will be the crow attack reset, for example. And in here we are going to have our variables and stuff set back to the default value that you want. For example, in this case I had my command with the default keybind of I, and by pressing the reset button inside the settings will be then again set to I. Now we don't have any other variables, but maybe we will have later on. So for now, Q. Let's make this a real thing for now. So we have this, then we're going to have also attack 2 and attack 3. So we're going to have attack 2, attack 3. Attack 2 will be, for example, F. Attack 3 will be, for example, G. So we're going to have attack 2, attack 2, attack 3, attack 3. And now in my reset stuff, we are going to have not only this one, but we're going to also have our attack 2 reset back to F, and attack 3 to reset back to G. Here we go. Now, the real magic begins with what type of things should happen when this command is called, basically. In this case, we want to send a net event. You know what? Let me just ATK, just to make this a bit simpler in here, because we are not going to use this command anywhere else, so we can just, And now we are going to send our net event for the crow attack. So we're going to have my crow attack 1, and here we might want to have our full name, because it's more clear to read. Now, we're going to do this. Here we go. We need events, of course. We need more events. Oh god, I hate this. There's so many freaking events, and I could have all of them inside of one single class or whatever, but we're going to extend again the crow events class. Crow attacks. There you go. This will be again an how was the extend thing working? Extend class crow events. Here we go. Now let's go with this script, save, remove the txt, and here we go. We're going to use the event called NetworkProcess. We will need to check the wiki, because it's annoying to remember all of this stuff. Override void NetworkProcess console event. Simple. I found a pretty nice example here. So we already know that the event name, which is the extended name that we did that we gave to the command. So it's crow attack 1. As you can see from here, this is the event we are sending. Okay, if we are also using these, I don't really know how this is called, this symbol here, so that, for example, if we add some changes, for example, make these capital or whatever, it will still get the right event. Because this means almost equal, let's say like that. It's not really correct, but whatever. You basically won't consider formatting to the letters and stuff like that. If name cryAttack 1, we are going for now to do something really easy. But first I want to check if the player calling this event, so we're going to directly copy all of this stuff, and let's add this here. And I will explain how what this does. Basically, this is manual. I've already explained it somewhere else. I don't remember where. But this is basically saying that if the player is calling this from the console, I don't think I will need this actually, because I'm calling it from the KEYCONF, which is a net event call. So it should be the same as writing into the console net event and the cryAttack 1. So I will remove this. I don't think it's a problem at all, even if the player just used this as a cheat, because I don't really care, because we are going to do our checks here to lock the event if there are no valid things for the player to activate it. So first check is if the player is not in game, and we are going to check directly the player who called the event by using this value here, which is basically retrieving the player number. So if the player, for example, player 0 is not in game, then this will become, of course, false, and we'll enter this if, or if there is no player pawn attached to the player info for this, again, player number, then again enter here, and in here will be just returned, basically locking this up. If this guy is in game and this guy, now let me just make this a bit more compact. So let this PMO equal to players e.player.mo. We're going with if PMO and PMO dot. We're going with I could use find inventory or check inventory. In my case, maybe check inventory should be better, because I'm just using a bool. Alright, my class will be, so the crow handler, int amount 1. Alright, I'll go with this. And only then, if everything is correct, so the player is in game, there is correct actual player pawn inside my game, and if he has our item that the crow gave it to him, then we're going to get our stuff. For the first event, we are going to just do something easy. Console.print f crow attack 1. Next we are going with if crow attack 2, going to crow attack 2, and if crow attack 3, crow attack 3, so that we can just check if everything's correct. Okay, should have everything set up correctly. Let me just check this out, even because we are going, of course, to call our attack functions not inside the event, but we are going to do this inside, for example, another class, maybe directly a play class. So for example, like I did in here, as you can see, I'm just using this kind of stuff I don't even know how to explain this, but this is no actor or anything else that we can spawn. It's just a placeholder for functions to be called somewhere else. And by having starting function in here, I could just call them from almost everywhere else. So we're going to add our crow attacks to our ZScript things. We're going to be under the events just to know that this is an extend of this thing. And let's play this up. Of course, NetworkProcess original definition is in here. Oh, I already have a network. Hey, here! That's where I already defined my NetworkProcess. Fucking idiot. Okay, don't think this is a problem. I could just do the same things in here. There is really no problem whatsoever. I believe I will add these down here because there is one return and we don't want to lock the things up here. Here we go. We are going to add my attack events. There you go. Save. We delete this. We don't need this anymore. And attacks. Bye. We're probably going to rename Crow Quest because now it has more stuff in it other than the Crow Quest, but whatever. Let's see if everything works first before going to the map. Alright, amazing. And now, map to my hand. Let's go test this out. There you go. You can die. Mr. Crow. Return to the crow. As you can see, that was the little peek into my soul for half a second, and then come at me. I should go with Q and crow attack 1, amazing, F crow attack 2, and G crow attack 3. As simple. I love when this happens, when this sort of things is just this simple. Look at that, it just works. Amazing stuff. Now we are going to directly add the classes for these attacks to happen. Now we're going to again add my crow attacks thing. This time will be a class, as simple as that. Attack 1. And will be a plaything. Here we go. ZScript. Thank you. Save. There you go. We have our attack 1, and we're going to static. It will be for now void. Will be just crow attack. I don't know how to call them really. So will be really just crow attack 1 with the activator. So actor attacker. Really, the attacker. And here we go. Don't need anything else for now. And we're going with, of course, if there is no attacker or attacker dot health is less than or equals 0, then of course return, because I'm dead. Otherwise, we are going to attacker dot spawn projectile. Okay, it's not spawn projectile. A spawn since it's a player, fire projectile. Fire projectile. Which is a state provider, which is fine. I wonder though, I'm not calling this from a weapon, so maybe I cannot do this. So no. A spawn projectile. Doesn't matter if the player is a player, not a monster, should work anyway. We are going to send a doom imp ball. The spawn 8 will be, that's alright. 32 is fine. For now, let's see if this works. So I have my attack 1, which will be this thing. And we'll go with, again, so we're going to add this back in here, in my ZScript. This time these are the attacks, so crow attacks. Save. I can just go with the attacks instead of attack 1 and go with more functions inside my class. Crow attack 2, which will be spawn instead of a domain ball, we're going to spawn, for example, a baron ball. There is also a barkeep. Okay, I guess. Baron ball. And in my crow attack 3, we're going to do something a bit cooler. Like in my case, we're going to have my, double, no, directly with the vector 2. Vector 2, which will be off equal to 108, 0. Then we're going to rotate my vector 2 direction, which will be rotate vector, my vector 2, so my off, and the angle will be the angle of the attacker. Am I doing this right? I always can't remember how to use vectors from the get-go. Attacker.angle. I don't think this will work, but I can just go directly with my vector 3 direction, which will be attacker.pos plus my rotated vector. And for the z will be attacker.height divided by 2. Here we go. This should get, with this I should have a vector pointing in front of me, in front of basically the attacker, in my case the player, pointing in front of me with a length of 128 units. Attacker.spawn, we're going to spawn an explosive barrel. No. Get the fuck out of my face. Explosive barrel. There is also an explosive barrel too for some reason. Explosive barrel, the position will be there. And that's it. We'll also allow replays. Yeah, why not? Alright. We'll also have, for example, some sort of delay for using this kind of stuff, so we'll need a system to check for timing and whatever of specific objects or something else. But for now, let's see if this works. In my events now, which is in my case quests, will be, let's see if it works, attacks. Okay. Dot crow attack 1. Here we go. And the attacker will be my PMO. Same goes for my attack 2. And same goes for my attack 3. Alright. Let's see if I did everything correct. Column to a known function rotate vector, yes, of course, because I'm inside the play and I need to call this by, so attacker dot rotate vector, because it will need to be called from an actor. So let's run this up. Okay, no errors whatsoever. Let's see if it works. You can die and get return to the crow. Okay, come at me. Okay, if I press Q, I should spawn an imp ball. Did not happen. It's not happening. I hate this. If I instead I press my F, okay, attack 2, but not spawning anything. G, and he spawns my barrel. G. I love this. I don't like the fact that these other things don't work, but maybe it's due to the fact that I'm not doing this correctly. If this works, it means that these functions get called correctly, right? So what if instead of spawn projectile, I would really use attack.fire projectile. Let's see. So the missile will be again my dooming ball. Let's see. And my Baron here. Alright. Save. I fear that this doesn't work because a fire projectile, exactly, I cannot call them from here. Fire player missile is another thing. Maybe it was spawn missile. Spawn alert attack, spawn missile, spawn player missile. Let's see if I can use this. Actor. I should be able to do this. Alright, I don't think I will have any issue whatsoever if I leave everything as default. So let's roll with it. And let's go with my Baron Ball. Amazing stuff. Now let's go back to our map. Yeah, now it's our map, not my map. It's our because a communist regime. Play. You die. He's on top of the corpse instead of the backpack. That's fine by me. All right. Yes. Boy, I'm invincible. Am I? This is just amazing. Let me just go to my map 01. Okay, map 02, sorry. No, let's go with in another map. The Gauntlet. Hello, boys. I don't have the crow handler. Give crow handler. Oops. Yeah. This is just. Oh, what do you want, bitch? Oh god, this is so funny. Should have these a bit more. Boom! Of course, I should check for the spawning position and whatever, because for now I can spawn the barrel anywhere. Yeah, it spawned into the void. Or for example, from on the other side of doors, which is an OP power-up, but it's nice for me. Okay, everything works fine. And I believe I will close my my devlog for today. I'm not waking up demons. Maybe I should also add some. This is just amazing. Anyhow, we'll see you in the next episode, where we're going to make this better with all of the stuff that I'm missing right now. For example, like I just said, the effect, the things to wake up monsters, or what did I say? The counter to not get these attacks to be spawned from the players and stuff like that. But for now, we'll see you then. Bye!